What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Tiger T. I'm Tyler, and today, watching another death battle, we got Saitama, just idiot, Saitama from One Punch Man, and Popeye, they do from Thimble Theater. I imagine that's just what it was called before. I don't know. I don't actually know where Popeye went, but Popeye from them old school cartoons. When I think of Popeye, when I think of watching Popeye, I think of that being around the time when I got super into like Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies, that sort of thing. And then Saitama, something I got into probably like one of the first anime I really ever watched. Like within that like first 6 month period of when I really got into anime. I think One Punch Man was one of the first ones in there. So yeah, as always, gonna make a prediction, right? So I don't know that I know too much about. So Saitama, right? I've only seen the first season of One Punch Man. Haven't seen the second season. A third season's coming out, so there's a lot more that I don't know that they might pull from 2021. By this point, was season 2 already out? December 2021? I don't know, but there is the manga, so obviously there's that. This whole thing is they can kill everything in one punch, right? A bunch of build up to certain villains, and he still wins effortlessly, at least until from what I've seen. Popeye, I know there's kind of a similar thing going on there, right? Like he's an okay brawler, and then he eats the spinach, gets crazy, can't lose, right? It's tough. I mean, I feel like anime is crazy, especially with the premise of the anime that he can just win in one punch versus everything. Whereas like with something like Popeye, I mean, he's lost before, he's gotten hurt, he's been defeated, and I don't really know that I guess when he gets the spinach, he kind of always wins, right? And then cartoons can get crazy too, because they're cartoons, especially old school cartoons, where it's like anything could happen, because it's like whatever. I don't know. As much as I love cartoons and I want to go with Popeye, I feel like anime logic might just eke this one out, and I'm gonna go with the man with one punch with this one. So, let's see what happens. Promoting their shirts, look pretty cool, I guess. Saitama.
Popeye, the Sailor Man.
East versus West. Old versus new.
Healthy eating versus basic exercise.
These two warriors may seem ridiculous, but their unassuming exteriors belie impossible strength.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Life is pain.
I gotta get back to this anime, man. I enjoyed the first season.
During our brief sojourn on this tiny blue marble are what make us human. They light a fire in our soul. They make it all worth something. Without them, we are lost.
Yeah, it's a little early in the day for an existential crisis.
Gumball.
Luckily, I came prepared.
For this failed salaryman, all it took to get that fiery passion back was to save this butt-chin child from a
Weird
crab monster in underwear. That was a sentence.
This man was Saitama, and he was going to be a superhero.
And so he trained, pushing his body beyond its limits and shattering the boundaries.
I love the first season when he had to go through like the trials.
Strength grew exponentially day by day.
It was just like just destroying everything.
And much to his horror, that's exactly what he got.
All it took was one punch.
Yeah, because this whole thing is that he hates how strong he became.
Too strong. He became the one, the only, the infamous Kate Baldy.
But anyone who's cool knows him as One Punch Man, as in he can't help but beat almost every opponent he's faced in exactly one punch. One friggin' punch! And this is a universe with some pretty whacked out monsters, like a giant who's over a quarter of a kilometer tall and can stomp city-sized craters into the earth.
Or an Esper who can effortlessly pull giant meteors from outer space.
Or a Monster King who shaved off a continent from the Earth's surface and lifted it into the stratosphere.
Jeez.
And Saitama's never even broken so much as a sweat fighting any of them.
During their battle, that same Monster King absorbed this huge chunk of the Earth's core and fired it at Saitama.
Who blocked it by squirt gunning some lava at it. The lava he was
Hell
bathing
yeah.
in, naked, and then he punched him.
I mean, it's just stuff like this, guys, where it's like, what does Popeye have? I'm very interested to see, because usually Death Battle is really good at matching two characters up.
After being kicked all the way to the moon and before jumping back to Earth in
But I
about
just feel like his
16
feats
seconds.
are just
That's 8%
stupid.
the speed of light.
Kinda like the time he blocked attacks from this alien dude who stated to move near light speed, or punch so fast his fist starts to blue shift. You know, that thing that happens when you approach the speed of light?
Saitama utilizes his absurdly superhuman strength and speed with techniques like his devastating normal punch. And if he wants to amp it up, the consecutive normal punches.
Are you kidding me? Those are his attack names? What kind of self-respecting anime protagonist is he?
Plain and simple, he's a satire of one. Instead of seeing his journey from the beginning and enjoying his struggle to the top, we join him when he's already there.
Basically, imagine if Goku went Super Saiyan in his fight against Jackie Chun. Kinda sucks all the drama out of it, doesn't it?
And
Wait,
that's
there's
the
a
point.
character in Dragon
Far
Ball
from
called
the power
Jackie
fantasy the genre
Chun.
is known for, Saitama's life became an existential nightmare.
Not another
Without
clock.
simple conflict, the struggle that had heretofore defined him became meaningless. His new reality was inescapably boring.
Which is really saying something when he can decimate mountains without even hitting them, or shatter asteroids that rank a 9 on the Torino scale. For those not in the Torino, that's equal to 1 trillion tons of TNT. This guy's
Jeez.
training must have been insane.
That would be 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run every single day. And that's it.
You've got to be shitting
Of
me.
her
It
being like,
doesn't make sense
what?
because it's not allowed to make sense. To be fair, though, to someone who isn't already a trained soldier or athlete, keeping that workout routine every day for years is pretty much impossible.
While 100 push-ups and sit-ups are technically doable, especially if you space them out, doing 100 squats and then running half a marathon every single day would absolutely destroy your legs.
Put simply, effective workouts involve shredding muscle fibers at the micro level, then allowing them time to repair themselves, more durable than before. This repair process requires hydration, consuming protein and carbohydrates, and lots of sleep.
But Saitama's workout schedule doesn't give them time to repair, which means he was basically just ripping himself to shreds over and over and over. After a few days, he shouldn't even have been able to move, but he just kept going.
Might be an explanation. Take the brilliant scientist Dr. Genus, whose half-century of research into evolution Saitama erased in, well, one punch. According to Genus's hypothesis, Saitama's training broke his limiter.
Basically, every living thing on Earth has a limit to their natural abilities. At some point, no matter how badass they are, they'll plateau. Wait a minute. Have I peaked?
No.
I gotta go to the gym!
Saitama trained so hard, he literally defied the laws of nature and reality. He just breaks the logic of his world. He crushed the entire field of
Yo, did you see
evolutionary
that?
biology in the palm of his hand.
And while he has stated that his strength did eventually stop growing, it's pretty clear he's never gotten close to showing it off in full.
Yeah, it's like I can't get stronger, but don't need to get stronger.
And finally broke out his serious punch. A blow where he punches a little harder than normal.
And reflected Boros' collapsing star-roaring cannon. Now, you see, that's an attack name. An energy blast that was
That's-
going
that's a-
to
that's a
blow
good
up
attack
the friggin'
name.
planet. That's over 50 zetatons of TNT. Like a quadrillion of the world's strongest nukes going off at once.
It's just like, again, these are all crazy anime feats. Like I'm so interested.
As if no one in their right minds could believe a psych ward Charlie Brown could save the world.
Yeah, I'm so interested to see how they like how Popeye compares.
Anything resembling conflict gave him a perspective on how tropey and contrived his world is. Only Saitama's the only one in on the joke, because who cares about how far up their own ass a supervillain is when you can just chill at home with your buds and play video games?
Maybe that was the real lesson all along. Not to value our lives based on our accomplishments, but on the time we spend living and enjoying life's simple pleasures.
I'll leave that to Saitama, and I can't think of anything more pleasurable than punching so hard my name becomes a byword for literally unbeatable. The dude is the undisputed king of broken anime characters, because until Saitama finds his equal, he's gonna end all his fights in one punch! Popeye the Sailor
Look at this guy.
Man, hero, adventurer,
No, no. Yo, I remember this specific cartoon. The one where he has he fights the two-headed thing. I don't think I watched the black and white ones. Those are a little too early.
How exactly do you know? Never mind. Popeye's origins are humble. Born to the cruelly named Poop Deck Pappy, Popeye was, immediately upon birth, horrifically ugly.
Oh
So
no.
ugly, his father fled in embarrassment of his spawn and never returned.
So Popeye grew up with a chip on his shoulder and a pop in his eye, especially after discovering his higher calling, beating the snot out of people.
Don't worry, Popeye's fists are righteous, only spilling the snot of those who deserve it. Inspired by his adopted father, Whaler Joe, Popeye set out to put his combat prowess to the test and join the Navy, becoming a true sailor man.
It was there he learned the sweet science of boxing and to battle against World War II era racial stereotypes. I'm being specific, not just for sensitivity, but because there are so many examples.
Originating in the era of rubber hose animation,
Yeah.
Popeye's body is essentially made of, well, rubber, able to stretch, twist, squish, and squash any way he
Oh yeah,
likes.
Or rev up
that's
his arm
good.
for a punch that'll knock you around the planet.
Popeye's punches are fascinating, since they can disincorporate their targets into composite elements, like turning anchors into fishhooks, an alligator into handbags, and several Native Americans. You know, I don't even want to.
You know, we can skip that.
He's a cartoon. He can basically do whatever he wants. He can shoot fire from his core.
And that's also the tough. You know, that's always funny whenever they do an anime character versus a cartoon character, because it's like both anime and cartoons are just ridiculous.
The puck must have been moving at 500 times the speed of light. In order to generate that force, Popeye must have swung his fist just as fast. Hell, he's even shadowboxed so fast, he's somehow occupied two places at once and hit himself.
So, was he just born this way? Is being ugly the secret to pulling insane bullshit superpowers out of your ass? Because if so, you might want to get on that, buddy.
No. The secret to Popeye's immense physical strength is simply the virtue of nutrition.
I knew you'd find a way to make it lame.
Specifically, Popeye has spent his life consuming a miracle herb that has turned him from a mere sailor into a veritable god. Spinach.
Propaganda straight from the bean counters at Big Vegetable. You'll never get me to eat my grains, damn you! It's only animal flesh and grain alcohol for me!
Originating in Persia, Spinacia oleracea is a leafy green nutrient and antioxidant-rich vegetable that can help prevent cancer and reduce blood pressure.
And apparently imbue your biceps with the power of God and anime.
While a normal can of spinach contains about 44 calories, when used in Popeye's world, its effects are multiplied. Not only does it immediately increase Popeye's already impressive strength and speed even further, it makes him virtually impervious to harm.
It lets him fly, turn invisible, shapeshift his body into literally anything, and even survive the universe getting turned off. That's right, this big whatever the hell this thing is apparently God, and he turned off reality in order to kill Popeye and his friends. Cause why not? Except guess what? Popeye was fine. Why? Because he eats his spinach.
I wonder what its nutritional content is like. Let's find out with math.
No!
A single can of spinach in Popeye's world was once able to grow a beanstalk so tall it reached into outer space, all the way to a nearby solar system, and shattered this stylized yellow star. By measuring the volume of this spinach stalk and including the caloric density of regular spinach, we can calculate one single can of Popeye's spinach contains over 46 undecillion calories. That's over 700 octillion times greater than the total calories the average person will consume over their entire life.
That's over 46 million Yoda tons of TNT, enough to destroy, well, a star, or enough to punch your annoying neighbor so hard that when they land, they tilt the Earth.
By measuring the angle of the planet after tilting, we can determine its axis was adjusted by about 13 degrees in less than a second. That's a speed of about 1.8 million meters.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not feeling good about my pick. Like I said, man, cartoon logic. It's always a toss-up. You know, trying to see in the death battle, will anime logic take it today or will cartoon logic take it today? And I feel like I picked the wrong person. I should have went Popeye, but you know, we'll see what happens.
He can summon cans to his side by whistling for them, praying to gods, painting them into reality, or just waving his hands. The dude has literally been disintegrated into nothingness. Then his nothingness grabbed a spinach can out of nowhere and ate it. Nothing ate it. His nothing. And then he came back with his I don't know.
He can even punch so hard he tears the film strip he's being animated on, or exit his cartoon to beat the shit out of his own animator.
So Popeye's basically fought two different versions of God. And
Yeah, I should have known, man. Popeye's been around for too long. You know?
He's basically a spinach-eating
He's been around for too
nightmare.
long. There's just too many
He's always
things.
down for a scrap. So if you decide to antagonize him, be aware you're messing with one of cartoon's all-time heavyweight champions. And for your own sake, eat your fucking vegetables. All right, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
But first, in case you're starting to feel those winter blues, check out BetterHelp.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy.
Alright, guys, let's see. This is one of the few death battles where I am not feeling good about my pick.
Oh man, the scrap's always so expensive. No thanks.
Guys, can't stand no one bad-mouthing me spinach. Put 'em up, yes, big palooka.
Call me a beluga?
Whatever.
Oh no. Oh, nice. He cleans up after himself.
Ya ain't got a scratch on yas.
I know, right? Overwhelming strength is so boring.
I can't read that.
He said I can't. That's not over. He's gonna like rematerialize or something.
Huh?
Yeah, that's what was gonna happen. I mean, I feel like I usually don't pause, but I feel like the biggest thing, out of all the research that we just saw, the fact that he can be completely disintegrated, completely removed from the face of the earth, from existence, and then just like his nothing, kind of like Boomstick was saying, or like his nothing conjured spinach, his nothing ate the spinach and became Popeye again. Like that right there is like, well, he can't die, right? Like One Punch Man can literally remove him from this mortal plane and spinach will just pop open, and you know what I mean? So like that right there is kind of breaking this battle for me. I don't know if that's what they're going to base Popeye's win off of. Again, I'm being very pessimistic that Popeye is automatically going to win, but I just feel like if I am right and if Saitama does win, I'm very interested to see how he wins. That's all I'm saying. Again, very, very pessimistic about this battle, but it's just how it is. The classic One Punch Man screen cap.
A little bit more interesting now.
No. Ooh. Too bad he's rubber hose. Ooh, now we're getting serious when he goes into the sprites.
You sure is one crazy gazookas.
I'm just a guy who's a hero for fun. Who the hell are you?
Yep, I am what I am, and that's all what I am.
I feel like that was a non-answer to the question.
What do you know? How am I gonna get back home?
Jeez. Wow. So the question is, can Popeye exist in the vacuum of space? Apparently the answer is yes. I like the different art styles they're doing, or the different animation styles they're doing. It's because of the whole 10-year thing, I bet. I think the problem... Okay. That was good. Death and spinach.
Amazing! This is amazing! How did you get so strong?
It's me spinach.
Maybe Popeye wins because he's reality breaking. Remember how he could like jump out of his own cartoon?
Can this be? My heart's beating so fast. My muscles ache. I can feel them again.
That's all I can stand, 'cause I can't stand no more.
I never thought it would happen. A serious fight. I found it!
I feel like that's a red flag for Saitama.
Thank you, weird spinach mascot.
Oh no, who's gonna break? Ah, there we go. There we go. Yep. He turned him into eggs.
He took a big gamble, but now he is scrambled. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man.
Well, I
Interesting,
guess you
okay.
could say that fight was over easy. Wait, except isn't Saitama's whole gag that he can't lose?
It is, but it's more nuanced than that. Despite breaking his limiter, Saitama's strength isn't limitless. He's said so himself.
Breaking his limiter meant his potential strength was likely infinite, but there's nothing left in his world powerful enough to push him to get stronger, like a bodybuilder stuck with 5-pound dumbbells.
He also doesn't possess some magical ability to kill someone in one punch regardless of effort. Powerful adversaries like Boros and Garo have survived his blows repeatedly, albeit briefly, and he's never met anyone quite like Popeye.
That's
the
true.
Sailor Man.
Yeah.
According to the mangaka, One Punch Man's gag is that Saitama is an anime protagonist at the end of his series, slapped in at the beginning of his series, where he's too strong to have a challenge.
So, if we know Saitama's strength does have a limit, what is it?
We know he can deflect Boros' planet-destroying blast, but he was clearly super casual about it. He may have called it his serious punch, but that's the joke. He's only now
Yeah,
kind of
that's what I was gonna
In
say,
order to
is
get
that
as
it's
generous
tough
a
to
number as
know
possible, let's
what
assume
his
Saitama was
maximum is
exerting
because
the
we haven't really
least
seen
amount
it.
of effort he could to throw that punch. Since he's still technically a human, we can assume the ratio between the least amount of effort possible and the most is relatively consistent with other humans. Let's just say he burned the equivalent of only 1 calorie relative to the strongest punch ever recorded, which was over 1,000 joules. For reference, the average person burns about 1 calorie a minute doing absolutely nothing. So this is assuming Saitama is literally as casual as physically possible.
That'd make his strongest punch about 200 times greater than his weakest. Using Boros' energy blast as a base, Saitama's theoretical strongest punch would be over 11 yotatons of TNT. That's absolutely insane, enough to annihilate Uranus 4 times over.
Well, that's impressive, but that's still far less than Popeye's star-busting power, which was millions of times greater. Sure, this is only an estimate. We don't know Saitama's full strength exactly. But the point is, whatever it may be, it can be measured.
That's right, but trying to compare them with just numbers isn't the whole story.
While Saitama can break his world fairly easily, it's still a semi-realistic world
That was crazy.
generally obeys the laws of physics.
Popeye in his world, on the other hand,
Can
really be
do
measured at all.
anything.
Dude's occupied 2 places at the same time, ripped the film strip he's animated on, and knocked out the guy drawing him. Can't do math to figure that out. Popeye's just on a whole other level of bullshit.
Even if Saitama was strong enough to kill Popeye in 1 punch, Popeye has survived being fully disintegrated.
Yeah,
only to
it's tough.
recover
It's
when he's
tough.
new. Hell, God turned off all of reality and Popeye just ignored it.
And on the flip side, there was nothing stopping Popeye from just turning Saitama into a bunch of eggs, which he can do without spinach. So even if Popeye was weaker, he'd still have a way to finish the job in one punch.
Saitama was easily one of the strongest combatants we've ever seen, but pure strength was no match for Popeye's insane power.
Yeah, for his just
survivability, and
cartoon
plain old
abilities.
cartoon shenanigans.
If
Couldn't
you
lose.
thought nothing could match the One Punch Man, now you know Popeye's spinach can.
The winner is Popeye.
Okay. All right. I respect that.
And that's a wrap for our anniversary.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, it was that thing where it's like before the battle, it's like, I don't know, Saitama. But then like as you start to see Popeye's research, it's like, oh yeah, he's a cartoon. Probably a bad idea to ever like guess against a cartoon because literally anything can happen. I mean, not that anime can't, but at least with anime, most of the time they try to obey some sort of rules. With cartoons, it's like nothing matters, you know. But yeah, that was good. Like I said, the fight itself, I think this was one of my favorite fights, just because of the different animation styles. Like they went from 2D to sprites to like black and white crude drawings to 3D to, you know, that was really cool. Even this at the very beginning where it's like, oh, this is gonna be a really short death battle. It's like, nah, you know, they kind of faked you out a little bit there. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Let me know what else you would like me to watch. And until next time, make sure to watch more cartoons.